Good evening, Earth Treks, Planet Granite movement, and everybody watching the stream today. Shout out to Instagram. What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining us. I'm going to wait for the room to fill up a little bit. What you will need, though, and I'll repeat this every few minutes here. If you have one, a resistance band. If you don't have one, that's okay. I can give you a different cue. Hydration, you can also use this for your weight if you don't have a dumbbell, but make sure you do have water for whenever you need it during the workout. I just want to say I hope everyone's doing well. I think it's like 3 weeks, and I'm just trying to find ways to keep myself busy and to stay active. At the end of the day, taking a walk, keeping our distance. It's good to get out in the sun, get some fresh air. Although my allergies are kicking way up, it's really nice to still be able to take advantage of some sunlight. So I hope you're able to do a little bit of that yourself as well. Yeah. If you're just joining us, we're starting in a minute, but if you have a resistance band, that'll be helpful. If you don't have one, that's okay. And a bottle of water, something as a weight to move with, to increase the resistance or the challenge if you need it, and some water to actually drink. So you need a weight, some water, and if you have a resistance band, that will be helpful. What's up, Seb? Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining. You will need a pen and paper or something to write with, so I can read out to you our workout for today. It's a little hard to read, but I will read it out to you. So I'm going to separate this out into chunks. I think there are 13 movements, and today, if you've been to one of my classes before, I typically like to do rep-based workouts, but today I'm going to show you, if you have come to my class before, I'm going to show you how to take an interval workout and make it something that works for you, focusing on how hard or how much effort you're putting in at any given time in that time frame, and that's how you take a workout that is time-based and make it work for you. I will demo the first half. We'll take maybe 30 to 40 seconds to get water. I'll demo again, and then we'll finish the workout. And I hope we can wrap up in 35 minutes once we get started. Yeah. So the first movement is posterior pelvic tilt. I like to always start with this to remind us how to engage our core when we move our legs. When we go to plank, we need to make sure we are engaging through the core and making sure we incorporate our pelvic muscles to hold a nice firm line. We're going to do a plank. We're going to do a basic twist or Russian twist if you've heard that before or done that before. We're going to do a side crunch on the left side and the right side. Then we're going to put our feet up in the air and we're going to do some toe touches. And then we'll finish the first half with an up and down plank kind of combo. This one is a little dynamic, so I find it a little bit more fun to follow along with. And then we're going to do an isometric abdominal contraction. I like to do this in the middle of my workouts so we can remind ourselves that we need to be engaging deeply or deep within our core. And then from there, we're going to do some flutter kicks. We're going to go into some side planks, so a little static movement there, or a little static pattern of movement there. We're going to do some kneeling chops. We'll do left and right on that one. We're going to do some fire hydrants, and I wanted to finish with a hollow body complex, or a 3-movement hollow body. We'll demo that for you. And if I'm feeling a little spicy, I might throw in some mountain climbers based on how I feel at the end. But me saying it now means you can choose to participate in that later. Maybe something to look forward to as well. Shout out to all my mentors who have helped me share all this knowledge with you. Thank you very much to them. I find myself very thankful for people who have come or crossed paths with me. So thank you for being part of my classes. Thank you for teaching me things. And thank you for having discussions wherever you are. And if you're new and I haven't met you before, thank you for being here or watching this later today. So the first few movements, let's get started. Pelvic tilt. Pelvic tilt is on our back. This is hook lying position, or I'll call it hook lying position. We should be flat. Shoulders and hips should contact the floor. And there's a natural curve in our spine that we want to take out. And so we are going to use our core to push down the top of our pelvic bone into the floor. So if, sorry, I'm wearing black, but if you can imagine that this point references my hip to knee bone, my femur, I'm going to try to rotate down to make sure that my low back is pushing into the floor. That's pelvic tilt. I'm going to ask you to hold that for 5 seconds, 5 times, as a kind of a warm-up to our movement. Let me tilt this down a little bit. As a warm-up to our movement, and then we'll go into a plank. Our interval starting with plank is 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So you have 10 seconds to switch into the next position or take a breather. We're going to try to move quickly through this, but you can always rewatch the video. If you find that the pace is moving too quickly, please make sure you are moving at the pace that suits you. Sometimes it's cool to keep up with others, but make sure that you understand that you should go at your pace that allows you to complete the whole workout. Completing the workout means that you have accomplished a set. And for you, it's better to finish the whole thing rather than cutting out early, at least the way that I designed our workout today. So from plank, we're going to go into some twists or Russian twists. So we're going to go from lying back like this to seated. You can keep your feet down, but traditionally I want to keep my feet up. And so with these twists, if I'm twisting over my right side, so my left hand is going to come over, I want to touch the floor, make contact. And then when I come to the other side, I want to also touch on the other side. And that's why here control is a big deal. Do it well, do it right. You'll practice the right movement, which means when you're tired, or in the future if you try this again, you'll be able to do the right movement the right way instead of practicing the wrong form. At least to this, to the way I've structured today's workout. From there, we're going to go into a side crunch. So you're going to lie on your side, stack your hips and shoulders, and everything else in between. So from here, you can put your hand on the ground or on your hip. Just find somewhere comfortable for you. Your head will rest on your shoulder or your bicep, but our goal is to bring our ankles up the line of our spine, and then we are going to bring our upper body down into that plane too. So the important thing here, and I'll try to show you, if I'm trying to create a straight line with my body, stacking my shoulders, stacking my hips, my elbow goes down the line of my spine, and then these come up. Don't open up and do these. You're going to overwork those hip flexors, and that's not my intention. I want to target that oblique. We're going to do that on both sides. So alternatively, we'll do this over here, and it looks like that. From there, we're going to go into some toe touches. So feet goes up in the air. Try to make a straight line as best as you can. My hamstrings are tight. I'm working on it. I hope you're working on your mobility and flexibility too. But from here, I'm just going to try to touch my toes for that time frame. Whatever you can do. That's the important thing. Whatever you can do. If you can't touch your toes, that's okay. Touch your ankles, touch your shins. Work on one thing. Have a goal. Touch my toes or keep my legs straight, and then find something that works. Find the goal and work towards that. That's what I was trying to say. And then from there, we're going to go into an up and down plank. So this is, like I said, a little bit more dynamic. So we're going to use that pelvic tilt specifically here. Pelvic tilt, when you are not on your back, is basically squeezing your glutes and pushing your hips into the surface below you. And if you notice, this is my relaxed position. See the, I'll try to trace here. It's hard. So right there, that curve in my back, when I squeeze my glutes and when I push forward, notice how my back went straight. That works for me. I hope that works for you. Your mileage may vary. But from here, we're going to go into low plank. And make sure you're not sagging your low back or your hips. Keep that core engaged. So from here, we're going to go up into high plank and then back down into low plank. And I would recommend that you alternate the hand that goes up first. So I went right up there, and I'm going to go left up here and then back down. Our goal is to try to keep our hips from rotating. It's going to be hard to tell from here, but I'm not trying to do this. Okay, as I go up and down, I want to keep rigidity through my midsection. So that's our first half. If you are ready, I'm going to try to keep time. I created a timer on my phone, but my phone is streaming on my Instagram. So bear with me. If interval's not your jam, let me say this, do everything to 15 reps. And that might be a way to move a little bit faster through the workout. So here we go. If you're ready, let's do some pelvic tilts. I'm actually just gonna verbally count. So pelvic tilt, 5-second hold 5 times. So here we go. Pelvic tilt, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. It's up to you. You can take 5 seconds or a little bit longer, but let's just try to keep moving for the sake of time here. So we're going to go into pelvic tilt again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We're going to release that. I want you to make sure you feel things happening in your core, in your midsection. Again, 1. So if you keep tension by bringing those hips down, you should feel it in your core, in the front. Sorry, you should feel it in your abs in the front and your core in behind. Release. Definitely around your sacrum. You're going to feel a lot of movement there. Here's 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I noticed that I was just counting a little bit fast there. If you have a timer, it'll help be consistent. That's a big deal. We're going to go up one last time. 1. So sometimes we tend to count quickly because we want to move on, but slower counts can sometimes be more beneficial for us as we work to growth and release. That's pelvic tilt. We're going to go to plank next. Plank. I'm going to start plank flat. I'm going to pelvic tilt into the floor. I'm just illustrating how my back goes flat here. And for this one, I'm going to choose a low plank. So here we go. 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off. I always liked to work out in front of a mirror so I can always check my form. So these are probably the best planks I'm ever going to do in my entire life because I have 2 different screens showing me different angles. But it is something for us to keep in mind about the way we practice, the way we repeat, and we want to create pattern in our movement. So that's a friendly recommendation for you. I think today's workout, you're going to hear a lot of counting from me, so a lot of numbers. And I'll be honest, I haven't been doing a whole lot of fitness. I've been walking, trying to do cardio, but I haven't been doing a lot of strength training or specific core work. So I don't feel so strong today. And that's okay, right? We should always just aim to try to do something when we can, when we feel like we're capable to. And then sometimes finding motivation helps as well. I think that's 50. Let's come down. I at least feel like it's 50. I'm going to have to find a way to set a timer. Let's go into twist. Maybe you can help me down there. If you could create a 50-second timer in 10 seconds, let me know. All right, next, twist. So I'm going to do the feet up variation. Join along with me. Here we go. Left side over right first. Nine and 10. If during this interval you need a break, please take one. If you're already doing these at home, or if you're already got a really strong core, no big deal. But if you're building up, please take some time. And please take the space to be kind to yourself and say, hey, I tried really hard there. I need a break though. We want to have good form. And if taking a 3-second break gives us a chance to take a breather and come back into it, then that means we get to finish a little bit stronger than we would have before. I hope you're feeling it. I needed a break for my feet because my quads are getting tired. You can take one too. If not, you're a champ. Keep going nice and strong. All right, let's say 50 and let's go into some side crunches. So I'm going to start on my left side because I like spinning around on my butt. It's kind of fun for me. That's how I make my workouts fun. I just do silly things. So again, just a reminder, in the last 3 seconds here, side crunch. And if you can't do that leg thing, just do your upper body, okay? Here we go. 3, 2, 1, side crunch. Make sure you feel that contraction right there. If you're just joining us, welcome. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate you very much, wherever you're from. I'm talking, so sometimes I'm forgetting to breathe, which is no good, no bueno. Our muscles need oxygen. Make sure that you are taking those breaths. Good job. And 3, 2, 1, and moving along to the other side. Let's take 10 seconds. I'm going to switch to the other side. If you need water, take some water. There we go. All right, 3, 2, and 1. Again, so just the upper body variant here in case you needed to see it. I feel it going down right in my obliques. I'm not open. I'm right on my side. Trying to focus on my breathing. And if you notice, or if you can't tell, I'm trying to make the effort come or start from my oblique, right? I'm not trying to pull my head forward or over my side. I'm just touching, making contact so I can give myself some landmarks. Taking those breaths. 3, 2, 1, finish. All right, so from there, we're gonna put our legs up in the air and we're gonna do some toe touches. 10 seconds to move on. So, like I said, I can't do this straight knee, so my legs have to bend a little bit. That's what I got. Whatever you got, let's work with it. Legs up. Here we go. I'm gonna do 20. I'm gonna do 20 counts. We'll have to adapt, and I hope that's 50 seconds. So here we go. 1, 2. With this, I'm reaching together. I'm trying to keep my shoulders square to the movement. I'm not leading with one side because then that would be kind of a more diagonal movement. And that's okay too, as long as it's your intention. But if here, my intention is to use symmetry, use my shoulders together and reach together. Feel in the upper abs. And that's my intention. If you noticed, keep going. If you noticed, I need a break. If you noticed, my knees started to bend more and more because I was starting to feel more tension. That happens as long as we try to bring that back in and try to keep that straight leg or whatever the position we're trying to hold. That's cool. I'm very forgiving because we're already trying to do something for ourselves. As long as you try to push it out. All right, that's enough of that. So last movement is up and down plank. So we're gonna start in low plank and then go into high plank. We're gonna go up and down on each side. From there, we're gonna alternate the hand that we go into high plank to. Excuse me. So starting in that pelvic tilt position again, that works for me very well. Just to remind myself to flatten out, and then low plank. So here we go. If you're at home and you're doing rep-based counts, you got to do 15 on each side, all right? So here we go. Right side up first, left side up next. I missed a count, but I'm going right back into it. That's okay. And I missed it again, but it's fine. We're doing what we can. You're doing what you can, and you're doing a great job. Here, I'm already noticing that I'm losing tension in my core. I'm losing tension in that low back from that previous pelvic tilt. So I'm not breathing as well because I'm trying to not create so much quiet time on screen. But for us at home, take that break or pay attention to your breaths and how much tension you feel. That's a great way for you to keep moving. That was a bad one, that last one. So let's stop there because I feel like I need a break. Everyone gets 30 to 40 seconds. Let me get some water. Are you like me? Do you cover your bottle with stickers? It's pretty fun to collect things. I walk around with a memento of all the places or the things I like to keep close. You got a breath? Is your heart rate up? That's good. If you're not sweating, that's okay. It'll come. I promise, it'll come. If it's not now, maybe when you're done, your body will settle. If you start sweating a little bit, just keep getting your water. Make sure you drink plenty of water after we finish here. So, second half, please write, if you didn't write it already, please follow along. Isometric abdominal contraction, flutter kick, side plank on both sides. We're gonna do a kneeling chop or a wood chop. This is when or where the band might come in handy or even the weight. We're going to go into some fire hydrants. This is a fun one to demo And in a class, it's really fun to watch people look silly, but I promise it's not for my joy. We actually benefit from that movement. And then we're going to finish with some hollow body, a 3-position hollow body, and then maybe some mountain climbers. I feel like I want to try hard. So right now I feel like we're going to do some mountain climbers. So isometric abdominal contraction. We're going to engage our core while in hook lying position. Shout out to 2 of my mentors, Emilio and Megan, if you're paying attention, for teaching me so much of what I know. So hook lying position, we're going to, previously we were rotating our hips down to do that pelvic tilt. We don't want to do that here. If we do a little bit of that, that's okay. But what we want to do is just squeeze around our belly button, create tension deep within our core with everything else contacting the floor. You can put your hands on your chest or your belly or the ground, whatever works for you. And all we're going to do is, again, 5-second hold 5 times. So here we go. Flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did you notice how I started really fast there? But I fixed it. Sometimes I get excited, or we get excited, and that goes. Here's number 2. Flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did it again. Lots going on in my head. Let's try to calm it down. Flex again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a good one. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. How many of you count like this versus like this? I think it's funny to identify where we are from or our experiences. We count different ways on our fingers depending on where you grew up. Last one, I think this is 6, but I want another one. So 5 seconds here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's your isometric abdominal contraction. And we are going to go into some flutter kicks. So we're going to go right back down, flat body. Legs out, okay? There's a lot of black. Maybe I should have worn some white socks today. But we want to keep our legs off the ground. And we want to go down with the, go up with one leg. Double the length of your other foot. And you're going to swap positions, just hovering off the ground. I can't show you, there's a lot of black. My bad. I'll choose better for colors for my socks. But here we go. So flutter kick for 50 seconds. I'm going to do 15 on each side and hope that, 50 seconds, not 15, 50 seconds, and hope that this count works for time. So here we go. Up, pelvic tilt a little bit, support under the back. Oh, sorry, let me take a moment here. A lot of us want to pad our low back. So if you have to do that, that's okay. But I want you to know that I always encourage people not to do that if you're able to. And I want you to do that pelvic tilt. I want you to flatten that low back. It creates more support because our muscles are holding our spine down into our hips or into our legs. And that allows us to do more work on our muscles versus relying on our skeletal system or our spine to do all this other stuff for us. So we do the pelvic tilt with one leg out, and then I'm going to extend out so I can hold it. And so both feet up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Two. I hope you can keep tension here. And by talking right now, I will illustrate that our diaphragm is what controls our breath. Our abs are what holds us in our vertical human position. So practice. Practice using your diaphragm. Breathe. I can breathe. I can get air in right now. Don't hold your breath. Hang in there. And that's my 50 seconds. I'm pretty sure that's probably like 40, but things didn't work out the way I planned for them to, with my timers and all that stuff. I'll have something better for next time. So that was our flutter kick. We're going to go into some side planks. So I'm already facing this way. Side plank. You can stack your feet or you can offset. Whatever works for you, whatever gives you better stability. I want you to stack your contact point to the floor. I want you to stack that under your shoulder. I don't want it to be out here. I don't want it to be under your ribs. I want it to be under your shoulder. So I'll show offset here. Hopefully I can show you how my shoulder is stacked underneath me. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. So with this, when we get tired, we tend to do more and more of that. But I want you to pay attention to what you're doing. I want you to keep that hip high. I want you to feel that tension in your upper oblique. And I want you to feel that your other side is supported. Maybe we need to create tension in our shoulder or really make that contact really solid through the floor. We should pay attention to how we move so we can recreate that movement in the future. That looks good to me. What do you think? Does that look pretty uniform, straight line? I hope that you're able to do this and practice to get there. We're going to do 10 more seconds here. But I don't know. I'm not counting. I don't have a timer. I'm trying to go by feel. Creating tension, creating that feeling up here or feeling that oblique fire. My low back got tired because one, I'm not doing these regularly. And that's something worth saying. Consistency is really important for our fitness. It's not how hard you work once, it's how often you can continue to work. Do that for yourselves, your body will respond. Let's switch to the other side. Hello to everybody joining in. Thanks for coming in to work out with me and us as a community. All right, that's good. I'm stacking my feet. Stacking my feet, got to get in the picture. So sometimes what I feel like is happening with my hips is that my butt goes out behind me too much. So if I squeeze forward, the pelvic tilt might help you here. I know for me, not specifically a pelvic tilt, but bringing my hips forward allows me to continue to create tension in the right places. Just notice my elbow was too far, too high. So bringing my hips forward allows me to use more of my core, and I'm supported by my glutes. Your glutes are part of the system which supports or gives stability to the core, just like the core gives stability to other parts of the body. Something has to help the core as well. I am shaky. If you're shaky, high five. If you're not shaky, thumbs up, then a high five. You're doing your part. Keep going. Ooh, I am shaky. That's my time for that one. Let's move into our kneeling chop. So I might get cut out of the shot here. Okay, you don't need to see my face. You need to see what I'm doing with my body. Okay, so 2 angles, sideways and then vertically. So sideways, kneeling. I want those hips forward and I want your toes tucked if you're able to. So we have a straight line from our knees to our shoulders. And then forward, I'll show you the movement we're trying to make. So tucking my toes underneath behind me. Let's just fix it. Tucking my toes behind me. That's better. Tucking my toes underneath me and behind. I'm going to take my weight and I'm going to go from one hip to the other shoulder. I'm trying to keep this arm straight. So if you play golf, this may be something that is a cue that you've heard before, but I'm trying to keep a straight line from this hip over. And so why? Why this kneeling position? I want to create tension from the diagonal sling that's working, sorry, this way. And I'm going to create that by rotating. Hips forward allows me to set a good, solid, stable foundation for the movement. And then my toes creates tension in my legs so that those support the movement. Knees underneath the shoulders. And this weight, let's go for 50 seconds. 1, rotate core through, get to that end range of motion. I wish I didn't have so much water in here. So also, please don't rush through this movement. Take your time to find that range and find that consistent pattern. That's why I like to have a mirror that allows me to get a reference based on what my body feels. I lost tension, reset, so that I can repeat that movement. This is really important in weightlifting or performance weightlifting. It's all about repetition. All right, let's switch to the other side. I need water. So the one thing about drinking from the weight is you end up with less weight at the end, which might be helpful. So make sure you're aware that that's happening. Other side now. So from here, over, product placement earth checks. Here, and then over. Breathe. Breathing through end range of motion, trying to keep my hips square, and I'm just rotating through my upper body. I saw your text, David. White Sox has its place, sir. So I don't work out in glasses. My sweat is pulling them down off my face. Keep working. Y'all are doing great. I don't need to see you to know that you're trying hard. Because you're here right now, that means you want to do better. I appreciate that. I appreciate you watching later. 2 more. So rotation. That is our kneel chop. We're going to go into fire hydrants. There's 2 positions I want to show you. First one is on our side. So this is quadruped. 1, 2, 3, 4 feet. We want to create that tabletop position. It's just another way to say or cue for this position. So keep that back straight. What we're going to do is, if you are a pet owner, a dog owner, you take your dog for a walk, sometimes those dogs will do this to go to the bathroom. That's why my friend Matt calls these fire hydrants, or at least he's who taught them. He taught these to me. Shout out, Matt. So from here, I want you to do 2 things. I want you to keep that core tension so that your back is flat. And then illustrating forward, I want you to draw, if you pay attention to this knee, I want you to draw that knee out diagonal, or close to the ground first, sorry. I want you to draw that knee out close to the ground first so that you can create a 90-degree angle. I'll try to show it here. So you can create a 90-degree angle out here, right? If you don't do that first, the tendency can be for us to rotate our hips. And you see what happened to my hip go out there? We can do better. We can execute better form to make sure that more core works. We get more muscles working, which means the thing that you're doing now, the effort you're taking to be here to do this workout, you're maximizing that moment. So I'm going to switch sides. So we're going to do that, draw it out, and then 90-degree angle. If you can see that, we're going to do that 4, 50 seconds total. So if you set your timer, count sides, make sure you have an even number of sides, okay? So here we go. 3, 2, and 1. Draw it out. 1. And I want to stay on each side. Sorry, I told you both sides. Start over. 3, 2, 1. Alternate sides. Draw it out. Bring out. If you're not able to hold that cord tight, that's okay. Do what you can. Do what you can. Make sure you're breathing. Get that oxygen in. Sometimes this is active rest for my class, and so I'm going to cheat. Don't do as I do, do as I say. I always found that a funny thing to hear, but I needed water. I want you to keep that awareness about your movement. Also, I started shifting because I'm diagonal to the screen. I started moving over. So if you are making little pockets in the surface below you, if it's padded, like a carpet or maybe a mat, make sure you're returning your knees and your hands to that your knees to that previous position. Breathing is important. Always looking down helps as well, because when I look to the right, my body rotates and I lose my original position. Two more on each side. Each side. All right. From there, we're going to do some hollow body. So take a quick water break. I need more water. So here we go. Finishing into these hollow bodies. There are 3 positions. The first one is with our legs up like this. Create 90-degree angle at your hips, 90-degree angle at your knees. Your second position is extended outwards and then up. That's a bad one. But up, straight back, chest forward, trying to keep those legs straight and out. I'm doing my best. Angle, we do what we can, right? So we're going to do 90 seconds. I'm going to do my best to keep it even. You can do 30 seconds in each one statically, or if you're able to, I want you to follow along, okay? Here we go. First position. So I'll say 1, you're going to that first position. If I say 2, you're going to this position. And if I say 3, you'll come up, right? Sometimes I need to stabilize, so put your hands by your hips and just create that. Bring those shoulders back. Create a straight upper body position at the torso, at your torso. If you can hang in there, good job. If not, go back into a comfortable position and pick back up in the next number count, okay? 30 seconds, here we go, for each movement. 1, breathe, settle in here, because this might feel like a long time. This might feel like a long time. That's 15 seconds. We're gonna go into this one. 2, 1. Breathe. I have my head up, but you can keep your head down. That's okay. And then up. So I had to use a little bit of counterweight to get me up, and that's okay. I'm trying to do my best to keep my legs straight, but my hip flexors and my quads are already really tight. Let's go back to 1. Lost my words. Hang in there, stay with me, almost done. Sometimes I'll do a rapid fire. So we're in 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So this is something you can do for yourself to challenge yourself. If you have an accountability partner or a workout buddy, you can take turns calling out numbers on different workouts. You can torture each other. Sometimes that's how I feel my workout buddies or my accountability partners are doing to me, but nothing to lose here. We end up stronger. 2, we're gonna stay here. 1, 3, up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to 2. This one's really hard for me. There's so much tension in my quads. If you need to, go back to 1. I'm going to be there in 5 seconds. And then 1. This is our resting position. It's so tight. It's so tough for me to hold this position right now because, as you can see, my bike's there. I've been biking a lot, and I've been working on my pedal strokes, and I do a lot of pushing down, not pulling up. So these are fried from this week. If you notice as well, my heels started to drop. I want to bring them up as best as I can. Just be aware. That's what we're working towards. 2, 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Ah, feeling it. I hope you're feeling it. 2. 1, 2, 1, and 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good. I think that was about 30 seconds each. We're running a little bit late because I talk a lot and I demo a lot. So I'm going to end that there. If you have any questions, I'm going to hang out for 5 minutes. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for stopping in. Thank you all for joining us on our workout. We miss everybody. We miss seeing you in our facilities. And we miss just being able to see each other. But this is a way for us to keep in touch. I hope you're able to do so with the people that are close to you and that are important. Keep doing that. Stay strong, everyone. We'll see you next time. Thank you very much. See ya. That was fun. Hope you're having a good time with our workouts. No questions. See you later.